With nearly 1 million unaffiliated voters in the state of Maryland shut out of some elections, the closed state, a new lawsuit filed just days ago, hopes to change the way future elections are paid for. In fact, joining us now to explain this lawsuit, the attorney representing the plaintiffs and former Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford. Thank you so much for coming in. This is something, though, when you look at this lawsuit you're representing, you're saying, okay, first of all, there's almost 1 million unaffiliated voters in Maryland. There's about 1 million Republicans. So, I mean, it's really tight with the Republican Party.
Right. It's, as of last count, about 957,000 individuals who've chosen not to affiliate with a party, and so they're listed in Maryland as unaffiliated. And under our state constitution, it basically sets out what the requirements are to be able to vote. 18 years or older, U.S. citizen and a resident of Maryland, and in that you shall have a right to vote in all elections. Going further, in the Declaration of Rights, which is also a part of the Constitution, it states that the best guarantee of liberty is to have involvement in voting and involvement in selecting your legislature. And so the individual should have a right to suffrage. So we're saying that by having these closed partisan primaries, you're excluding these 957,000 voters. We have individuals who are unaffiliated, who are our plaintiffs, and we're making that argument that the state should not fund that. Now, it's not about the parties. The parties can select their leadership however they want to, either through a primary that they pay for. Maybe if the legislature would allow, they go a caucus. Some states have caucuses or conventions, but the state should not pay for something that is blatantly unconstitutional under our state constitution.
What's the catalyst now, though? I mean, this has been the way for quite some time now. I mean, we're talking about decades here. I mean, 2.2 million Democrats to 1 million Republicans, the unaffiliated class now expanding quickly.
It's
getting there.
The growth.
What started this?
Well, the growth is, a number of the plaintiffs have been arguing this for years. And they've been going to the legislature to try to get the legislature to change. The legislature doesn't want to change. They have their people who elect them, and they're not interested in expanding and having more people involved. And so with the growth of individuals who are unaffiliated, 22%, over a fifth of our registered voters are unaffiliated. It is a trend nationally, and it continues to grow. If you look at the election activity reports, the net increase in voter registrations is unaffiliated. The net decrease is amongst Democrats and Republicans. So, you know, it's continuing.
People are fleeing the regular parties,
They're
the two major parties, and are going.
Yes, exactly. So that's what's going on. That's what's driving this whole thing. And it's time that you have, like you said, nearly 1 million people.
Well, last question for you then. Is this lawsuit hopefully going to make it so that it becomes an open state? Is that what the drive is behind this lawsuit, or is it just because of where the money's flowing and why taxpayers are helping fund certain elections, yet they're not getting a voice in those elections?
You know, one solution could be an open primaries, but it's going to be up to the parties how they decide. We're essentially saying is that the state should not fund this. It's unconstitutional for the state to fund it.
Gotcha. And then how long before you get into court system and find out about this?
Well, the state has 30 days to respond. And then we'll see what their response is, and then we'll go from there. But we think it should be relatively quick because there's not any real questions of fact, so there should not be discovery. It's get in front of the judge. And then probably, if we're successful, I would imagine the Attorney General will want to appeal. And we'll go from there.
Former Lieutenant Governor and attorney Boyd Rutherford, thank you so much. We'll be following this case too. Thank you again for coming in. We appreciate that.